Welcome to another episode of the Lessons for Success podcast. I'm your host, Adam Wardlaw, a middle school science teacher and high school football coach in South Carolina. Thank you for joining the podcast heard by nearly 2,000 listeners across 37 states here in America and 14 countries worldwide. Each day's episode has a different theme. Monday episodes feature motivational messages to get your week started on the right foot. Tuesday episodes provide practical tips for being more efficient in different areas of your life. Wednesday episodes will feature wise words from various sources. Thursday episodes will look back in the history books at noteworthy moments. And Friday episodes will feature feel-good stories and messages to finish your week off on a high note. If you're listening on iPhone, be sure to give the show a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. Now let's start the show. Hello everyone, it's time for another edition of Tuesday Tips. I was scrolling on social media this morning and found a graphic that was titled 10 Things That Should Be Taught in Schools. I hear all the time from students that a lot of the information they're learning is useless, so I wanted to make sure I provided a lesson on a skill that many would benefit from. Public speaking is going to become more and more prevalent. Even in job interviews nowadays, it's typical for applicants to be interviewed by a panel of people from the organization. When I was in college, many of the majors required a course in public speaking because it's such a vital skill. Even though it's a necessary skill, I saw a stat that said 70% of Americans have a deep fear of public speaking. So in this episode, I'm going to share 3 tips for making you a more competent public speaker. Number 1, preparation is key. Know what you're going to say and be ready to provide some supporting evidence to help your case. Hook the audience with your introduction so that they're paying attention when you provide your evidence. After delivering some facts to support your case, you need to wrap it all up with a conclusion that the audience will remember. I've heard before that most people remember 2 things about a conversation: the first things that are said and the last. Make sure you send your audience out with your main idea. Number 2, fix your posture. Body language can be as powerful as your actual words. If you're slouched over or appear to be disinterested, the audience will feel that same energy. Make sure your posture is natural and not robotic. This will also help your breathing and other physical traits while you're speaking. Number 3, pander to your audience. Understand who you're speaking to. If you're speaking at a formal function, your references should fit the setting. If you're like me and speak to middle schoolers every day, then you've got to try and relate to some things to them. So there you have it, guys. 3 things that can help you be a better public speaker. I realize that you may be fearful of speaking in front of crowds, and the only thing that can take that away is practice. But if you implement these 3 tips, I can guarantee your performance will be a lot better. So remember, preparation, posture, and pander. These 3 tips will have you sound like a professional speaker in no time. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll talk to you guys again on tomorrow's episode. Take care. That's it, everybody, for another episode of the Lessons for Success podcast. Thank you for listening. If you're listening on an iPhone, remember to give the show a 5-star rating so that our audience can keep growing. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok by searching at L4S Show or using the hashtag L4S Show. Remember, that's the number 4. And episodes are also published on the Lessons for Success YouTube channel. Thank you again, and tune in next time on the Lessons for Success podcast.